In this review I'll be tackling the big burning questions: gameplay, graphics, playability, and how to pronounce the title. Is it Demeo X Dungeons & Dragons Battlemarked or Demeo multiplied by Dungeons & Dragons Battlemarked? It turns out it's pronounced Demeo and the X is silent. So now the important stuff is out the way. Did you know you can now get 20% off games using my promo code VRReviews, but just for this Black Friday sale up until December 1st. After then, you'll only save 10% using my promo code. Plus, there's sales on the MetaQuest 3’s, on accessories. And if you buy a Quest 3 or Quest 3S, my promo code VRReviews will give you $30 in free Quest cash, as usual. Sale or no sale. Now, I'm going to assume most people watching this review have already played what is arguably the best tabletop dungeon crawling experience on the Quest, Demeo. And if you haven't, seriously, go get it. I'll wait. Okay, welcome back. Now imagine Demeo and Dungeons & Dragons had a baby, and that's what you're pretty much getting with Demeo Dungeons & Dragons Battlemarked. It keeps the original Demeo charm, but gives you a fresh way to play. It feels very familiar, but at the same time very new and exciting. You get 2 campaigns, clocking in at around 12ish hours, depending on how many side quests you complete and how good you are at the game. And one of the biggest differences here is that the original Demeo was basically a chain of dungeons held together by a narrative made of duct tape. And that was always one of the biggest critiques of Demeo. It's a fantastic game, but without a strong narrative backbone, it sometimes felt like you were just hacking through enemies, looting dungeons and dropping bosses at random. Battlemarked changes that completely. Whether you're exploring Neverwinter as it teeters on the brink of war in the Embers of Chaos campaign, or venturing into Icewind Dale as it prepares to face armies of direwolves and frost giants, you're finally getting that classic, richly woven fantasy storytelling experience. Battlemarked delivers an actual world, complete with dialogue, side quests, branching paths. You know the deal. And in true D&D fashion, you get 6 hero classes: Paladin, Sorcerer, Ranger, Rogue, Fighter and Bard. And along with that, your usual Wisdom, Intelligence, Strength, Charisma and Constitution attributes. But don't worry, because you won't be doing calculus trying to min-max your stats. There's no re-rolling here. You'll level up to earn points, which you then sink into one of these stats, and each time you upgrade, you get to choose one of 3 options for that stat, like you see on screen. It's that simple. You can upgrade your class abilities as well as your primary and secondary stat. And when you create a character, you do get to swap out your secondary stat, but I mostly just stuck with the preset one because it suits your class the best and it required approximately 0 thought. Beyond that, you can also change your character name and give them a fresh paint job. Combat itself keeps the classic Demeo style combat die rolls, with 1 sword being a hit, 2 swords a crit, and a skull meaning congratulations, you just fumbled.
A glorious miss!
Then there's inventory, which is still nice and simple. There is an option to swap out your weapon and your trusty cards for hitting things, defending things, or buffing things. Although there is one new element here, which is the occasional stat check, when you roll numeric D20 die for skill-based checks such as deception and intimidation. So while it's more complex than the original Demeo, it's still quite simple and streamlined, and this simplicity is either going to be your best friend or your biggest gripe.
You pretend to be cowed by the might of the goblin force behind the walls and offer your surrender.
Excellent! As well you should.
If you love the streamlined, fast-paced nature of the original without drowning in stats and micromanaging 97 useless potions in your inventory, then you'll feel right at home. And the adventures themselves are classic fantasy. There's usually a twist that you probably see coming at the beginning, and the environments are gorgeous: inns, forests, dungeons. Each place feels unique and like it belongs. The narrator also adds some charm, explaining details and bringing the world to life. Monsters look fantastic. Combat is just as addictive as ever. There's co-op with up to 4 players and crossplay. A range of different dice and base variants to unlock. Mixed reality. Let's just say I think you're going to love this game as much, if not more, than its predecessor. Now, as you can tell, I had a great time with Battlemarked, but I did hit a couple of bugs. One deleted my save file, and another trapped me in a location with no way to escape. So yes, a save rollback option would be nice. Also, when you're in a safe area, characters still take turns, which is unnecessary. I think your lead should move freely about unless you want to actually switch character, because having to shuffle your entire party around just to look at a bookshelf or have a conversation gets annoying fast. And don't even get me started on the hand tracking. Now in theory, you move the map by making a fist. In practice, apparently I clenched my hands every 5 seconds because the map was moving around like it had a mind of its own. So after a few minutes of unintentional cartography chaos, I grabbed the controller and never looked back. But minor frustrations aside, Battlemarked is a polished, engaging fantasy tabletop adventure that blends the best of Demeo and D&D into something genuinely unique and special. Whether you're a long-time dungeon delver or stepping into the Forgotten Realms for the first time, I think this one is absolutely worth your time and money. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Remember, the promo code VRReviews saves you 20% off games in this Black Friday sale up until December 1st. Thank you for watching as always, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.